Oh, sorry. Mic check, mic check. Hey guys, it's me, Agi, and I may not have an intro, but yeah, editor me explain that what's happening.
Don't worry, past me. I got this. So, hi everybody. It's me, Tiggy. If you don't know what Reddit stories are, basically AI generated stories that take place on Reddit that have basically good conquers all ending. It's pretty cliche. If it's like an abusive mother, or maybe like I don't know, something along the lines of abusive blank or misunderstood blank. And what I'm going to be doing is I gathered a bunch of these that I really, really hate. Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate Reddit stories so much. And I wanted to share that hatred with you. Enjoy me crashing out over Reddit stories, Morty.
Okay, yeah, here we go, and here we go now.
What would you do if you found your best friend's diary and your name was on every page?
I don't know if it was like scarce. If it was like scarce, I wouldn't be too worried about it. I wouldn't be too worried about it because, friendships and stuff.
This has been my best friend since 3rd grade. For 15 years, we've had sleepovers, shared secrets, and she's always had my back. She's the most loyal person I know. Now we're seniors about to graduate, and we're packing up our apartment together. Jess steps out to grab boxes from her car. I'm going through the closet when a shoebox falls off the shelf. A journal slides out. I pick it up, and it falls open to a page with my name written on it. I smile because I'm thinking it's something sweet about our friendship. So I flip to the beginning and start reading. The first entries are adorable. How we met in 3rd grade. Inside jokes from middle school. Prom
So
pictures from high
cute!
school. Then I hit freshman year
So
of college, and the
cute!
vibe
I've
changes.
seen
She starts
something
writing about a
plot
party,
twist
a
down
random
there.
guy we met,
Kinda
and what
weird
happened
now.
between the 3 of us that night. We never talked about it after. I thought we both just wanted to forget, but she didn't forget. She wrote about it for pages. She says that night unlocked something inside her, that she couldn't stop thinking about me after. Then I read something that makes me pause. She admits she started walking in on me in the shower on purpose. She admits she told me to sleep naked because she wanted to look at
What the Sleeping naked? What?
me. My stomach drops. I'm about to flip to the next page when I hear keys at the front door.
Ain't
Jess is
no
back. I put the
fucking
diary
way,
in my
bro.
bag and stand up
hell
fast. She
no!
walks in smiling,
hell
asking
no,
if I need help. I tell her I actually have to run to my mom's house real quick. She hugs me and says she'll finish packing. I smile back, but my hands are shaking. I drive home in silence. My mind is racing. What else is in this diary? I get inside, lock the door, sit on my bed, and start reading from where I left off. I turn the page and my ex's name jumps out. She writes about how she catfished him for 2 weeks until he responded. Then she took screenshots of the messages and sent them to me from a fake account. I remember that night. I was destroyed. She
Leave!
slept over and held me
Leave
while
her!
I cried.
Get
She had
rid of
set the
her!
whole thing up. I
Anything,
keep
just-
flipping. With the
Just
next
go.
boyfriend,
Oh,
she
shoot, I dropped my phone.
what would you do? She had set the whole thing up. I keep flipping. With the next boyfriend, she spread rumors
Oh
that he had a
my
disease.
gosh,
Nobody would talk to
this
him
is
after that. He
insane.
transferred schools. The one after that, she told him I was cheating, so
my
he'd break
gosh,
up with me
she's pulling
first.
the
Then I get to Dante.
Madoka.
She didn't just ruin this one.
Monica,
She slept with him,
Monica,
recorded
sorry.
it, and
I
sent it
meant
to me from a
Madoka.
fake number
Sorry, I
saying I
meant
deserved to know what
Monica.
kind of man he
I meant
was. I
Monica.
cried
I
for
accidentally
weeks.
said
She held me every night. She did all of it. Then I noticed something worse. She ruined her own relationships too. Every guy she dated, she ended things on
I have a question. If she loved you, then why did she get into relationships with other guys?
purpose. She writes that she didn't want to be happy if I wasn't. She wanted us single together, lonely together, needing each other. The last entry stops me cold. It's from 2 days ago. She says after graduation she's going to finally tell me how she feels. She says I have no one else now. No boyfriend. No one I'm talking to. Nobody.
Yeah, but that won't, stop her from, saying no. Dummy.
Made sure of it. The final line says, 15 years I've been waiting. She has no one left but me. She'll finally choose me. I close the
That's menacing.
diary. My chest feels tight. I don't even know who my best friend is anymore. My phone buzzes.
I would be scared too. Leave. Just block her. Get rid of her, please.
I can't find my journal. Have you seen it? I stare at the screen for a long time. Then I text back. Yeah, I found it. Come over. We need to talk. I think we should be together too. What would you do if you found your best
What? No, ain't no fucking way. This bitch is crazy. They're both crazy. That's toxic. That's toxic. 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 What do the comments say? Also, Yuri, haha, Yuri, Yuri, haha, it's so funny, haha. One stalks the other. That's not funny. That's toxic.
Where did your trust issues come from? My husband
My ex.
threw his niece a birthday party and invited everyone we knew. Nora turned 4, and my husband James was more excited than I'd ever seen him. He spent weeks planning this party. He rented a bounce house and hired a princess to come do face painting and ordered a 3-tier cake shaped like a castle. I thought it was a little excessive for a niece, but James had always been close with his sister Vanessa, so I didn't question it. The party was packed with people from our lives, his family, my family, our entire friend group, co-workers, neighbors, everyone. I was in the kitchen getting more juice boxes when I heard Nora screaming in the backyard. I rushed to the window and saw James walking through the gate. Nora sprinted across the yard and jumped into his arms yelling, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy!" I laughed because kids say silly things. Then I noticed no one else was laughing. I looked around the yard and every single adult had frozen in place. James's mother
That's a bit sussy.
mouth. My best friend Courtney was staring at the ground. James's co-worker Mike was backing away like he wanted to disappear. James looked at me through the window and I watched the color drain from his face completely. Nora was still clinging to his neck saying, "Daddy, I missed you so much. Mommy said you were coming and I waited all day." I walked outside slowly. The yard was dead silent except for the bounce house motor humming. I said, "James, why is she calling you daddy?" He put Nora down gently and said, "Kids get confused." She probably heard another kid say it. Nora tugged on his pants and said, "Daddy, can we do cake now? You promised we could do cake when you got here." I looked at Vanessa. She wouldn't meet my eyes. I said, "Vanessa, why is your daughter calling my husband daddy?" Vanessa started crying immediately. She said, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We never meant for it to happen." My brain couldn't process what she was saying. I said, "Never meant for what to happen?" James stepped toward me with his hands up and said, "Let's go inside and talk about this privately." I stepped back and said, "Tell me right now, in front of everyone, why is that little girl calling you daddy?" James was sweating. He said, "Because I am. Nora is my daughter." The words hit me like a
Wait a minute.
and my husband James was more excited than I'd ever seen him. He spent weeks planning this party. He rented a bounce house and hired a princess to come do face painting and ordered a 3-tier cake shaped like a castle. I thought it was a little excessive for a niece, but James had always been close with his sister Vanessa.
Close.
Oh, what the? Okay, it's not loading.
Where did your trust issues come from? Dating because I was already involved with her and I didn't know how to end it. I grabbed the patio table to keep from Tell me right now, in front of everyone, why is that little girl calling you daddy? James was sweating. He said, "Because I am. Nora is my daughter." The words hit me like a truck. I said, "Your daughter, with your sister." He said, "Vanessa isn't my sister. She never was. I told you that when we first started dating because
Oh! Oh, okay, you had me going for a second. You had me going. I actually thought.
I was already involved with her and I didn't know how to end it. I grabbed the patio table to keep from falling over. I said, "You've been lying to me for 6 years?" He said, "I was going to tell you. I just never found the right time." I looked around the yard at all the faces I thought I knew. I said, "Who else knew about this?" Nobody answered. I screamed it. Who else knew? My best friend Courtney raised her hand. Then Mike, then James's mother, then my own sister. Then one by one, almost every single person in that yard raised their hand. My own mother couldn't look at me. I said, "Mom, you knew?" She said, "I thought you knew too. I thought it was some arrangement." When I realized you didn't know, I didn't want to be the one to destroy your marriage. I started laughing. I couldn't stop. Everyone I trusted had watched me play the fool for 6 years. I said, "The business trips. You were with her." James nodded. I said, "The late nights at the office." He nodded again. I said, "Our anniversary 2 years ago when you said you had food poisoning and couldn't make dinner."
Damn! You have nobody. Who are you gonna run to now? Ghostbusters!
He closed his eyes and said, "Nora was in the hospital with pneumonia. I had to be there." I said, "You missed our anniversary to be with your other family." And
Yeah, because his daughter was in the hospital. You Capabarnia.
I spent the night alone thinking you were sick. He said, "I'm sorry. I know that sounds meaningless right now, but I am sorry." I looked at Nora. She was hiding behind Vanessa's legs, looking scared. This innocent little girl who had no idea she was the center of a lie that had destroyed my entire life. I looked at Vanessa and said, "How could you do this? I bought you baby shower gifts. I babysat her. I helped you pick out preschools." Vanessa said, "I know. I wanted to tell you so many times, but James said it would hurt you too much." I said, James said. I turned to him. "You convinced everyone I knew to lie to me for 6 years to protect my feelings?" He said, "I was trying to keep everyone happy." I said, "Everyone except me. I was the only one not in on the joke." I walked over to the cake. 3 tiers. Castle-shaped. Probably cost $300. I picked it up and threw it directly at James. It hit him in the chest and exploded everywhere. Pink frosting in his hair, cake chunks on his shoes. He just stood there dripping. I
That accomplished nothing.
said, "I want a divorce, and I want everyone here to know that you can all go to hell." I walked out through the side gate and never looked back. The divorce was finalized 3 months later, and I haven't spoken to a single person who was at that party since. Where did your trust
So you haven't talked to your mom? You haven't talked to your best friend? You're alone on this one. Plus, the cake throwing did nothing. What a sad, sad woman. I pity that woman. Genuinely. You have nobody left to defend you, nobody there to be by your side. I feel bad.
Close the door.
What?
No, don't worry. You're not in trouble.
What? Hello?
Yet. I just noticed something today.
What?
You've been avoiding eye contact with me.
What's going
Every
on?
meeting, every hallway, every elevator ride. And honestly, it's adorable.
Chaos! Chaos!
But also a problem.
Chaos!
because
Don't
when
leave
my
me here.
employees avoid me, it usually
My sister had struggled with depression since childhood. The doctor warned that she could not tolerate any kind of simulation. As a result, my entire life fell silent. To avoid upsetting her, I never dared to laugh at home. I never dared to cry. When I got
Sorry,
hurt,
just
I did not even have the right to say it hurt. My parents would hug me with apologetic expressions and say, "You're the good one. Your sister's illness requires the whole family to work together. You're healthy. You're strong. Let her have more." Okay. One day, I accidentally knocked over a cup. The crash sounded enormous in the quiet room, and my sister's emotions shattered at once. My father struck me for the first time. He roared, "Can't you be careful? Do you have to push her until she dies before you're satisfied?"
Excuse me, sir? What? Do you have to push her until she's satisfied? You literally punched your daughter. You punched your daughter.
Shoved me to the floor. The back of my head slammed against the corner of the table, and blood poured out. But my whole family rushed to my screaming
my
sister.
gosh.
No one even glanced at me. I lay on the cold floor as my vision blurred and my consciousness began to fade. The ceiling faded into a pale smear. Somewhere beyond it, old memories surfaced, as if they had waited for the moment I finally stopped fighting them. I
This
saw
could be
myself
like an
running home with a
anime or
certificate
something.
clutched in both hands. I had earned first place in my grade. My heart had felt too big for my chest. "Mom, I shoved the door open. Breathless, the words spilled out. Before I could finish, she snatched the certificate from my hands and shoved it into a drawer, as if it were contraband. "Rainy," she whispered, panic in her voice. "Don't let your sister see it." She lowered her voice even further. "You know how this goes. If you do well, it will set her off." I stood in the doorway with my arms still half extended, as if my body had not received the message. My smile froze. "But Mom, it's the first time I ever got first place," I said. My voice shook. "The teacher said I could apply for early admission. You're the most sensible one," she said as she smoothed my hair. Her eyes held apology, the kind that always asked me to swallow my feelings so she would not have to. "Your sister's illness needs all of us. You're healthy. You're strong. Let her have more." "Okay." I nodded and went back to my room. I forced down the lump at my throat and swallowed every bit of unfairness whole. Back on the floor, the puddle of blood had widened. It crept under my shoulder, sticky and warm. My breathing turned fast and shallow, and I could not draw enough air into my lungs. White flashes sparked across my vision. "Mom," I tried again. This time the word scraped out of me. "It hurts." My mother finally glanced over her shoulder. She frowned as if I had interrupted something important. "Rainy, stop it," she said. "Can't you see your sister is unwell?" "Wait." My sister screamed.
She's fucking dying. Hello? Hello? She's dying! You can't you see your sister's not doing well? Yeah, well your other daughter is fucking bleeding on the floor.
Spiked even higher. "Make her leave. Make her go away." She grabbed a glass from the coffee table. My sister had struggled.
If that happened to me, there was a lot that I would do. I would uncup that girl's ears and scream into her ear.
My boyfriend chose his girl best friend before me, and I couldn't stop crying happy tears. I grew up in Brazil, and everyone here knows that the first slice of birthday cake goes to the person you love most. It's tradition. You cut the cake, and whoever gets that first piece is your number one person in front of everyone. After 3 years together, I learned I wasn't Lucas's number one. My boyfriend Lucas had the kind of backstory that made you understand why family came first for him. His adoptive mother had found him digging through restaurant garbage when he was 7, his ribs showing through torn clothes, and she'd taken him home that very night. His birth mother had
Very
fought poverty
tragic
with her bare hands,
backstory,
working 3
yeah.
jobs to keep her children fed, even when it meant she went without. These 2 women had given him life in different ways, so of course I understood when he gave them the first slices at their respective celebrations. For weeks, I'd been planning his surprise picnic birthday party, reaching out to childhood friends he hadn't seen in months, staying up until 2 in the morning perfecting his favorite tres leches cake. I spent more than I should have on everything because seeing him happy was worth it. But still, a small voice whispered that this time, at the party I'd organized, surely it would be my turn. The picnic was perfect with string lights twinkling in the trees, and all his friends laughing as we sang happy birthday. My heart raced as Lucas held the knife over the cake, and I tried not to look too eager while everyone waited to see who he'd choose. He looked
Well, number one, good on you being a good wife and celebrating your husband's birthday. You should never by the way, this just goes for morality. You should never expect something in return. If you're gonna do a good deed, do a good deed. Don't do it to be just expecting something.
around the circle of faces, his eyes landing on mine for just a moment before sliding past to Mariana, his best friend since childhood. "For my sister who never let me give up," he announced, handing her the plate while she squealed. I kept my smile steady, even as something inside me crumbled. Mariana deserved it, as she'd been there when his birth father left, when he'd gone hungry, when he'd almost dropped out of school. She was practically
Sorry, I'm watching a squirrel look at its reflection. It's cute.
family who lived 2 hours away now, rarely seeing him, while I saw Lucas every day, woke up beside him every morning, heard his love before sleep each night, but standing there watching
Sorry, what did you say?
birthday. My heart raced as Lucas held the knife over the cake, and I tried not to look too eager while everyone waited to see who he'd choose. He looked around the circle of faces, his eyes landing on mine for just a moment before sliding past to Mariana, his best friend since childhood. "For my sister never let me give up," he announced, handing her the plate while she squealed. I kept my smile steady, even as something inside me crumbled. Mariana deserved
Why?
it, as she'd been there when his birth father left, when he'd gone hungry,
Yeah, exactly.
when he'd almost dropped out of school. She was
Exactly.
practically family who lived 2 hours away now, rarely
Uh-huh.
seeing him while I saw Lucas every day, woke up beside him every morning, heard his love before sleep each night, but standing there watching everyone
Yeah, so? Just because you were there for him doesn't mean that... The sister did more. The childhood friend did more. Obviously, the childhood friend did more. So... Because the childhood friend did more.
cheer
So
while
you
I
shouldn't really be surprised.
became invisible again. I couldn't help feeling like I'd never be the most important
Yeah, because you didn't come first.
person in any room. We talked about marriage constantly, planned our children's names, yet when it came time to declare his love publicly, I was passed over. That night after
Yeah, because, oh my gosh, you're stupid. You don't really understand this tradition, huh? You don't know the tradition, that's what I'm saying.
everyone left, Lucas found me on our balcony, wrapping his arms around me from behind. Thank you for today. It was perfect. I'm glad you enjoyed it, I said, my voice smaller than intended. When he asked what was wrong, I erupted. In all 3 parties, you never picked me for the first slice. I know that
Yeah, because you don't f***ing deserve it.
we all deserve it, but at the party
Yes.
I threw, the one I spent weeks planning, I was so
Party that I threw. I spent one party does not make up, like, it's not infinitely better than, like, comforting somebody during really stressful times. Just because you threw one
Mediocre.
party doesn't mean you all of a sudden your level's higher above these people.
sure it would finally be my turn. He got defensive, listing every breakfast made and flower given. But when I explained it wasn't about cake, but about publicly declaring your person, that this
Yeah. You're so stupid.
tradition was how my culture showed the world who mattered most, he went completely still. So everything I do every single day means nothing because I didn't give you cake? The accusation in his voice made my chest tighten. You're twisting my words.
No, he's not.
Times you chose everyone else for the first slice while our friends watched me get passed over. And each
Yeah, because, oh my gosh, shut the
Potato.
f up! You understand why, right? Oh my god. You explained the tradition in the first 5-10 seconds of the video.
I vanished a little more. He pulled away, shaking his head. I can't believe after everything we have, you're jealous of my family. There are bigger ways to
I
show the
agree.
world someone matters than cake. He walked away with a coldness I'd never seen
I agree. Good job. Good job, husband. Good job. Be proud of yourself now.
before, leaving me crying alone on the balcony. The next
Cry, because you don't deserve him. You don't I almost threw up. You don't deserve him.
morning, I woke to an empty bed and silence that felt heavier than usual. I reached for Lucas's pillow when I heard soft laughter from the kitchen, followed by Mariana's voice saying, "You're getting better at this," and then another voice cooing, "No, babe, you're doing it all wrong. Let me show you." My stomach dropped as I crept down the hallway, my heart pounding with each step. Through the doorway, I saw Lucas standing close to Mariana, both of them covered in flour as she guided his hands over the frosting bag. My counter was a disaster zone of failed cake attempts. "Finally!" Mariana exclaimed when she saw me, wiping flour from her cheek. "We've been trying to teach this fool to bake for 3 hours." A woman appeared from behind the fridge door holding eggs. "This is my girlfriend," Mariana added, wrapping her arm around her. "She's the actual baker here, but Lucas keeps ignoring her advice." Lucas looked exhausted but determined. "Mariana called me an idiot last night after you went to bed. Said she saw your face at the party and I should have known better." On the counter sat a lopsided cake with uneven
Mariana, you're stupid too. You stupid bitch. You should be grateful you got the cake. Are you kidding me? I'm your childhood friend that, comforted you when your dad left and comforted you while you were starving to death. And I also helped you and pretty much saved you too. But you shouldn't have gave that cake to me. You should have gave it to your wife who only spent I don't know, I'd say 2 years with you. Yeah, you should have done that instead. You're pretty horrible for that. I'm gonna kill everybody in this room!
frosting that said, "You're first," in shaky letters. Lucas cut a piece and held it out to me. Remember when I said there were bigger ways to show the world someone matters? I already knew what I wanted to do. He pulled a small velvet box from his pocket. I thought the ring would say everything, but you taught me that some things need frosting too. He dropped to one knee in our
I'm
messy
skipping this before they get married.
kitchen while Mary
What's the funniest way you've gotten revenge on a teacher? My history teacher.
I killed them.
Need a bathroom pass, Ms. Peterson? Her face turned an impressive shade of red as she stormed out to change. When she returned wearing a borrowed gym shirt, she was surprisingly subdued. She didn't call on a single student that day. The best part? The next week, a new policy appeared on her classroom door. Unlimited bathroom passes available. Just ask quietly. 2 months later, at the semester award ceremony, I was shocked when Ms. Peterson actually nominated me for Most Improved Student. When I asked her why, she just winked and said, "Let's just say I learned my lesson about putting people in uncomfortable positions." I never admitted it was me, and she never directly accused me. But sometimes during class, I'd catch her eyeing her coffee mug suspiciously before taking a sip. And every time, I'd raise my water bottle in a subtle toast that only she understood. That's how I learned the best revenge isn't
Shut the fuck.